Invert camera. Hi. Hi, and welcome to the post news show here on TGN. We're live. The tweet says live in Portuguese. That was not intended, but I don't know how to fix it. I'm very new to Periscope. Yeah, so this is sort of the show where we cover the news that didn't make it to the main news show. Maybe because they were smaller. That's a light behind me. One of the lights I used to record today's show. I'm not very happy with the image quality and the audio quality on that show. I'm still trying stuff out. Expect better improvements with the coming weeks. Yeah, so this is a more relaxed thing. I've got some news pieces here that didn't make the cut. Let's start with Overwatch. Do you guys play Overwatch? It's pretty popular. It's seen a very steep decline since it came out. But competitive mode came out, I want to say last week or a couple of weeks ago, and it was plagued by issues. A lot of issues, especially with the matchmaking, and when people quit, all the team got penalized by that. That is insane. So Blizzard is talking about some changes they're making to competitive, and the main change is one hero limit. So you know how in Overwatch you can pretty much pick a whole team of the same hero? In competitive, you won't be able to do that anymore. So if someone picks Torbjorn, no one else can pick Torbjorn on that team. That is a change that is only coming to competitive mode. It will not affect quick play. And Blizzard is sort of addressing this as their first way to fix competitive mode. Personally, I don't think that will fix anything. Sure, matches are a lot more interesting to watch if you only have one hero of each type. Who wants to watch an Overwatch match with 6 Torbjorns? Like, that's not as interesting as watching a team with a varied or a diversified lineup. So, yeah, that will make matches a bit more interesting in my opinion, but I don't think that's where the issues are. They're also doing some balancing with a few heroes. They have figured out that D.Va and Zenyatta feel a little bit underpowered, so Zenyatta is getting more shields and he gets a lot faster when he uses his ultimate. And D.Va's defense field, instead of being a thing that you activate and then have to wait for a long cooldown to wear out, it's now a thing that you activate and leave it on until you turn it off, and it will have sort of a meter that depletes as long as it is active. So that's news piece number 1. Welcome changes to Overwatch overall, but I still don't think that's enough to fix competitive. Next, you guys might have heard of the Fallout 4 DLC called Vault-Tec. They talked about it at E3 this year. They've announced 3 DLC pieces. One of them is out already. This is the second one, and it's called the Vault-Tec Workshop. It was slated to come out in July, but now it has an actual date, which is July 26th. The Vault-Tec is the DLC that will allow you to pretty much build your own vault, and if you guys played Fallout Shelter on your phones, it will pretty much allow you to play Fallout Shelter within Fallout. It's $5. It's a pretty cheap piece of DLC for what it seems to offer. I'm not going to recommend it or anything because it's not out yet. But yeah, July 26th is the official release date for that. Now, I'm a big fan of the Arkham games. Huge fan of the Arkham games. Batman Arkham Asylum had an amazing atmosphere. Batman Arkham City expanded that into a wider open world and just timed its mechanics so well. And then we got Arkham Knight, which improved on pretty much everything, but then added the Batmobile. And I like the Batmobile for traversing the city, but they added so much puzzles and the battle mode, I wasn't a fan of it. So Arkham City is my favorite, but that's not relevant to this. Batman Return to Arkham is a collection that features remastered versions of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. It's going to come out for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. That thing was announced a couple months ago, and I just got a question. What was your favorite Arkham game? I think I just replied to that. We'll do Q&A at the end, so if you guys got any questions, you can send them to Twitter at TGNTV or at magical_noob. Or you can leave them on Periscope, that's also fine. I've got Mr. Ross Dillon, who is the guy putting together the news stories on central.tgn.tv. every single day. He's got top gaming news in a very short way, very easy to read on central.tgn.tv. And that's usually where I pull the news stories from to make the news show. So he's kind of unsung hero of this whole show, Ross Dillon. Very cool guy. He's taking the questions, writing them down. At the end of the show, I'll answer all of them. So if you guys got any questions, feel free to. But back to the topic at hand. Batman Return to Arkham has Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City. Both in the same package. They are fully remastered versions. And this thing was announced a couple of months ago. It ended up being postponed. It was coming out on July 26th, same date as the Fallout 4 DLC, but it ended up being postponed. It is now coming out. I lost the date. I saw it and then I lost the date. Until at least November. So it still doesn't have a fixed release date, but it's way better than just nothing, which was the previous piece. As soon as the game got delayed, they said, don't know when it's coming out, but at least until November, you'll get Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, which are phenomenal games. If you haven't played them, this is a great opportunity to pick them up, remastered graphics and everything. Absolutely awesome. The last news piece that didn't make the cut was about Blizzard. Again, I mean, we talked about Overwatch, let's talk about World of Warcraft now. Blizzard is taking action if you're in World of Warcraft, if you're being an annoying jerk in chat. They are adding something called the silence penalty. So they will absolutely silence players if you're spamming or using chat in an abusive manner. Players that are silenced will be unable to talk in instant chat. I can actually revert to camera and show you this GameSpot news article. They will be unable to talk in instant chat, raid party and battlegrounds, talk in global channels that are auto-joined like general or trade, create calendar events and in-game mail, party invitations, war game invitations, invitations to duel, update pre-made group lists, or create new lists for a pre-made group. They'll still be able to reply to whispers and stuff like that. They just won't be able to talk to a wide array of people with mail, general chat, and all of that. You're kind of late to the party, Blizzard. Guess what? This has been happening since your game came out. You're a bit late on the take there, but I guess this is an update to promote their upcoming expansion, World of Warcraft Legion. All right, that concludes our news pieces. Ross, you got any questions for me? First question was, what was your favorite Arkham game? Arkham City was my reply, which is, yeah, I really love Arkham Asylum, and it innovated the game. Like, it introduced the Batman combat, which a lot of games have cloned at this point, and it was such an influence with the gaming industry that was really, really an awesome game. But I think Arkham City took those concepts and made them even better. Some people don't like the expansive world of Arkham City, but I really liked it, and the freedom that it gave me to, travel as Batman. That was cool. Will they ever make a new Batman game? All right. Rocksteady has said they wouldn't, and then they announced Batman Arkham VR. I think they will definitely make a new Batman game. I don't know if Rocksteady will be behind it, because they have been saying repeatedly that they're making the Arkham trilogy and that was it for them, even though they are now making Arkham VR, which it feels kind of a side thing. But I really doubt Warner Brothers is going to give up on the Batman franchise. And they have developed Arkham Origins in the past, so I'm positive we'll see an Arkham Origins 2 in the future. What superhero do you want to see get an Arkham style game? That's the next question. A superhero with an Arkham style game. So I'm guessing superhero, open world. I'm a big sucker for DC Comics, but I would have to go Spider-Man. And I don't know if that's what Insomniac are making, but I really love Spider-Man. I love a lot of the Spider-Man games. There have been a ton of them, and most of them are bad, and I know that. But like a good Spider-Man game is somewhere in there, and I think they could learn a lot from the Batman Arkham style of game. Next question. How long do you think this Pokemon Go craze will last? I think we're already seeing a decline. My guess is 1 month. That obviously depends on the updates that they add to the app. And that also depends on how long they take to release this game in Europe. I mean, the game's already out in the UK, which is something that I learned after making the video. The game's already out in the UK and Germany, so I can't imagine the rollout in Europe will last. Will take a very long time to happen. But due to the game's simplicity, I think a lot of people are going to get in. They're going to have their fun with it, and they're going to get out. There will always be a core audience, a core community there that will play the game for months to come. But I think 1 month from now, we won't see this craze that we have at the moment. What do you think the biggest game yet to be released this year? What do I think is the biggest game yet to be released this year? This year, probably No Man's Sky. I would have to look at the list, but I think that's a pretty safe guess. Let's do 2016 in gaming, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. The game's quality or how good it is rarely a factor on how popular a game is. It's all about the advertisement and the hype that comes with it. Of course, it helps if the game's good and reviews well, but the hype and pre-orders and all of that is a much bigger factor in this. So No Man's Sky, I think, has the biggest so far. I can see Record, not as much. FIFA 17 is going to be huge, as it is every single year. Final Fantasy 15 will be big, but not quite No Man's Sky level. Gears of War, same thing. Battlefield 1, same thing. Xenoverse 2 is kind of a niche title. I'm looking forward to it, but it's a niche title. Dishonored 2, Watch Dogs 2. Yeah. My answer stands. No Man's Sky. And I think that's all the time we have. So thank you for watching. Let us know if this is something you would like to see more often. We might do this next week after the news show again. Yeah. Thank you. I love the reception that this news show has been getting so far. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Peace out. Bye.